In this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, Frieza, the Emperor of Evil, has officially been revived, and he's getting ready to hit the gym so that he can take down the Super Saiyans that destroyed him. And also, Jaco, the Galactic Patrolman, finally arrives! You're probably wondering who Jaco, the Galactic Patrolman is, especially if you never read the spin-off manga, which was created by Akira Toriyama. Well, Jaco the Galactic Patrolman is as his name states. He's a Galactic Patrolman. He's basically the police of space. He also happens to be good friends with Bulma's sister. That's right, Bulma has a sister and her name is Tights. I imagine we're going to see her in Dragon Ball Super, as it looks like we're expanding into the more alien worlds of Dragon Ball in this series, and honestly I think that's pretty freaking awesome. Overall, I think this was a pretty awesome episode of Dragon Ball Super, especially for people who never had the opportunity to see the Resurrection F movie. However, it does really follow it beat for beat. However, there are some noticeable differences. First and foremost, Frieza arriving at the beginning of the episode is awesome. I just love Frieza and how ungrateful and pompous he is. He doesn't care or even just think to thank these guys for actually bringing him back, and there's even an opportunity for possibly seeing the return of King Cold, which honestly I would like to see because he was barely in the series at all, only a couple of episodes before Trunks finished him off. And Frieza decides that he's going to train so that he can get just as strong as Goku and Vegeta and every other Saiyan so that he can get his perfect revenge, because he feels that when he was born with all of these latent superpowers that he never really had the opportunity to train because he felt that he never really had to. He was already just so freaking powerful already. He could destroy planets with his freaking finger. So if he feels he trains earnestly over the course of about 4 months, he should be able to take them on. There's also another big change in this scene because, one, he doesn't, blast the window and have all of his soldiers get sucked out into space, and he also doesn't kill Togama. This is pretty interesting. In the movie, Togama is sent into space, and that's the end of that character. This time, however, Togama ends up getting blasted multiple times in the arms, in the legs. Frieza is basically trying to make an example of Togama, but if the previews of the episodes are any indication, and this one right here, we're definitely going to see more from this character, so I can't wait to see what they're going to do with him. And this episode moves quick. By the end of this one, Frieza is already on Earth, getting ready to mess shit up. We also get a gathering of all of these strong warriors to take him on, such as Krillin, who thank God decided to cut his hair. It's also really cool just to get to see him hang out with his family, having that dynamic. I also love that 18 finally admitted that Krillin was really cool in this episode. That was really great. And it continued to have the tradition of having Krillin have his One Piece ringtone, so that's pretty awesome. You also have Master Roshi, who, did anybody else get a good chuckle out of that when he was riding on Krillin's back? We also have Tien, we have Piccolo, we have Gohan, and Krillin mentioned in passing that Majin Buu could actually join the fight, and that never happened in the movie. I would love to see that. I think that would be so cool to see Majin Buu and Frieza fight in the anime, especially because Frieza mentioned Majin Buu at the beginning of the episode, just demonstrating the gaps in power, mentioning that King Cold said, "You should never mess with the God of Destruction Beerus or Majin Buu." Probably my favorite scene from this episode, though, was a training sequence between Goku and Vegeta while they're still on Beerus' planet. For the most part, this is exactly the way it plays out in the movie, but they have this great scene where both of their punches meet each other, and you see this, blue aura come out of it. Obviously, this is the beginning of Super Saiyan Blue, which is going to be their brand new form, which has already been teased in the intro with a lot of the brand new imagery, which I failed to mention in last week's review. I didn't even, notice all that new stuff, but yeah, there's, shots of Frieza and his soldiers, Frieza going into Gold Frieza form, which is a big spoiler for people who haven't seen the movie, but then again, that stuff has been, posted everywhere, so it's not exactly new. The thing I'm most interested in is, I want to know if Vegeta is actually having the ability to go into Super Saiyan God form. The only reason I say that is because they haven't had, the whole, 5 Saiyans together ceremony, and they never did it with him. Is he able to achieve this power in some other way because of Whis' training? I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm missing something, but I hope they do explain that as it goes on. But it looks like Goku and Vegeta are going to continue to train up until the last second, until things get really bad with Frieza getting ready to destroy Earth. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? Just a very simple episode, just like the movie with a few minor differences. I'm glad that they brought in the character of Jaco the Galactic Patrolman. He's a really funny character, and his scene was a little different than the movie one because they actually involved Trunks and Goten, who were completely absent from the movie altogether, and I thought that they were going to be kind of a drag in this episode, but they weren't. They were basically just sort of in the background most of the time, messing with Jaco's ship and basically just causing all sorts of shenanigans. Doing what they always do. Frieza returning is awesome. It's no secret that Frieza is my favorite villain of the series, and it's great to see him return. He's just as ruthless as ever, and even more scary than he used to be, especially now that he's completely uninhibited by his father not being around. He really gets to take control of this entire organization, and his plan is fully set on revenge. I really freaking love it. So this was a really fun episode, especially for people who did not see the movie, and especially for those who are fans of Frieza. We're really going to get some cool fights coming up, and in the next episode, we're going to get to see a lot of the other characters fighting against Frieza's goons, so that's going to be really freaking awesome. It's also worth noting that the Resurrection F arc is going way quicker than the Battle of Gods arc. Like, they're getting right through this, probably because they want to get to the next story, and frankly, I can't blame them. I can't wait to see the wholly new material of Dragon Ball Super, and every week we're starting to get sprinkles of that, so that's pretty freaking awesome. This right here was a pretty fantastic episode, nothing groundbreaking, but I still really enjoyed it, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Check it out, Dragon Ball fans, you will not be disappointed. Before you guys leave today, make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you have a favorite scene from this episode? What do you think of Jaco the Galactic Patrolman? And what do you want to see from the rest of the Dragon Ball Super anime series? Make sure to tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. We'd really appreciate it. And you should also subscribe to the channel if you want to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews and our weekly podcast show. You guys can also follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!